we're jumping into some marketing strategies for medical spas and med spa owners specifically for the holiday seasons. Um, we know that there's only about a week left till Christmas and 2 weeks left until New Year's. And if you're looking to save your ad budget and do something that's a little bit more organic, that connects you with your audience on a deeper level instead of just paid lead generation, this is for you. So we have a sales session we'll be diving into today. We're going to talk about some networking tips, how to kind of build that trust with your current clients that you have at your medical spa, and how to build trust without having met your prospective client. And then we'll also jump into some organic marketing strategies that can help you really create a solid funnel into your business, get clients going without spending any additional ad spend, and just kind of building your brand in the mix of all of that. So I think we'll start with Diana. We'll do some sales strategy with her, and then we'll go into the marketing side of things with myself and Shane.
Diana, take it away. Thank you so much for thank you very much for the introduction. So first of all, I want to talk about in general about the 12 days of Christmas, all the pop sale flash sales that people do it every year, literally copy paste every med spa, but it's the most unprofitable thing ever. You fill an out schedule the last moment. You should already be prepared and planning for it because you know that Christmas is coming. And then who you attract is just the promo shoppers that will come back to you exactly in a year to buy the same deal and will not spend even $1 at your spa. So the proper way to prepare for the holidays is, first of all, educate your clients months, at least 2 months before that the holidays are coming, it's time for a change, and really plant the seeds before the holiday even coming. Now, how you actually close all these patients without doing any promotions for the holidays, because one of my clients right now does we have no promotion for the holiday, and they're still going to pass their target even though they close for a week. How? Simple. Memberships and packages. The only people who can get a promotion, it's if you're a VIP member. And the people who actually still come in, the existing clients, we just log them in packages. We don't offer any type of promotion, any type of pop sale, because again, it hurts your revenue. You're discounting all of your services and products, which basically you're reducing your own value. And then these clients are eventually not happy also. So what I always recommend is just proper education before. Don't wait for the last minute. Christmas is every year at the same time, such as Black Friday and every other holiday. So just plan it out. And if you actually do something, you decide to do a little promotion, which again, I'm against it, make sure you have the sales strategy. Okay, it's like, don't do a Botox promotion and expect that client to actually get something else. Do a promotion that will attract that client, like a microneedling or a facial, that you can actually explain them the value of doing different treatments. That's the big difference for me.
And I think that goes perfectly into building that networking connection as well, because when you offer these type of packages and bundles, it makes the customer and the client feel special at the end of the day, and it's going to think that, you're treating them nicely for the holidays. So they're always going to remember that at the end of the day. We're all humans. So that definitely plays an important part.
Right. And just another thing, all these holiday packages, not worth it. They're not worth it. The best strategy is just to have customized plans for each individual patient, because people are different. They get different results, and you're usually not that profitable. From my experience, there's not a lot of actual sales for these special Lollapalooza reindeer something package. No success. You just drop your value, because then the patient calls in January and want the same deal, and usually the owners accept it.
That's very true. Yeah, basically devaluing themselves in a way. Yeah, and like I said, I think the custom is super important too, because then you're really establishing that presence, that you understand what they need specifically, instead of just kind of putting like you said, a basic package that you give to everyone. It's not the same.
Exactly. So I would say, again, newsletters, educate them before. Don't wait for the last minute to do any pop sell, and just VIP membership. If you have a good VIP membership, offer promotions only to your VIP members. And that way you can gain, first of all, your VIP members will spend more money. And then the people who are not will be intrigued. And usually they do join because they want that promotion or they want that discount.
Mm-hmm.
All right, perfect. Well, Chloe, you want to continue?
Yeah, definitely. So, building on Diana's point of VIP memberships, I think just making your audience aware that that is a possibility at your spa is a huge part of building that clientele and getting them in consistently and making that upsell when they're already in the spa. And that's just pushing your brand. And to push your brand, I think something that's really important is knowing your brand, knowing your target client, and not trying to be like everybody else in the market. You guys are your own unique spa. So you don't need to copy what other people are doing. You just need to know what people want, and knowing your client is going to be a huge part of your marketing strategy. So if, I've had experience with medical spas in the past that were in more small rural areas, and for them, like, paid lead generation was not something that actually worked for them because they were such a close-knit community. And so what actually worked was building on the community aspect. And how do you do that is just making people feel welcome. You can do client shout outs, you can do testimonials, posting pictures in the spa that really shows who you guys are, that you guys genuinely care about the people that you're working with, and that you care about their results, you care about them coming back. Like, that can all be shown in your marketing strategy. And you can still do that while hopping on trends. I think that hopping on trends as a business is a great idea just for the virality sake of things, to reach an audience that has yet to see your content. But you can always just make it unique to you. And I think that that is really, really important, is just sticking to who you are and not trying to be somebody you're not. Because I think when you have an audience that's been following you, like, they know if you're showing up authentically. And if you're not, then you might not resonate with those people anymore. And if you're trying to build your audience, like, think about how you can stay yourself but still expand into, this target client and this target client and this target client. And again, just knowing the psychology behind them is what's really going to push forward in that lead generation side of things. So I know a great way to generate leads, and this is just a little tip, is to use Instagram stories and to ask questions that are actually relevant to your audience. So not just like, would you like to try this service, but like, would you like to know the benefits of this type of procedure? Or would you be interested in seeing how this procedure and this procedure could be bundled to get you this result? And just knowing that all people have different goals, and maybe that's where you can start with your marketing strategy, is like going in, understanding the goals that the client has, and then building something off of that.
100%.
Very true.
Yeah, and I think, like, going back to like the whole, like, making more like a community and stuff. When you do that, like you said, I always relate to like the music industry, right? Like when you're an artist in the music industry, you want to stay authentic to who you are. A lot of times people are trying to make music that's not really who they are, and like you can just tell. A great example I love is Post Malone. Like, he's been authentic all throughout his career. Like, he started out doing this weird hip hop like stuff that people wouldn't listen to, but he's so authentic that it finally caught on. And then now he's been able to go from singing and rap to more like country music, and he's done that because he just stayed true, authentic to himself. Following that path, that journey. And I think it really does relate to the same thing. If you can stay authentic and true to who yourself are, you're just gonna, you're gonna connect more with people. You're gonna gain more attraction. If they want to attract things, you don't want to chase things all the time. So, like I said, if you just stay authentic, people are gonna come to you. You're gonna build that community, and people are just gonna want to stay with you more.
Yeah, and something that, like, It should be unspoken, but you have to message on what's going on at your business. Like, if you're not keeping people up to date on office hours or VIP memberships or how it can benefit them, like, you truly have to educate people and remind them that, people are going to see something once on social media, and there is so much happening on social media that you have to stick in their brains. So you can do that in multiple different formats. And that's why, like Diana said, doing a newsletter and making sure that you're ahead of the holiday season is really important, because then, your audience is thinking like, okay, yeah, like they have a holiday promotion coming up or the VIP membership, and it's going to be maybe discounted at a certain price, or something extra is going to be thrown in. Like, you need to keep reminding people of these things that are happening, because they will forget. There's so much happening during this time. People call it busy season for a reason. And so you have to stay relevant, and you have to stay at the forefront of their minds. And that's consistent messaging, keeping them up to date on what you have going on, and having a brand that is unique enough to stay in their heads.
Right. And not only that, I would also add is just have that mindset that a MedSpa doesn't sell services or devices or products. You sell an experience, and you can change somebody's lives. The end of the day, people, what they want to see is the results, because it gives you from the smallest thing to the major thing, but all people want to look their best and feel their best. So it's really not about that the Botox or the filler or the facial or the discount. It's you have to educate the clients and show them the value and the long-term result, and really the whole experience of, you can be here, but I can take you here. And if you do it through proper content and branding and stories and asking questions, this is where you're actually going to attract that person that will come and spend money without even asking any discount.
100%. That's like the power of social media too. Like Chloe, back to your point, you got to remind your client what you guys got going on to offer and stuff like that. Even like with stories, like if you post a story one day, doesn't mean you post like you can post the same thing like the next day, because you never know who's the new followers or who came in and started like engaging with your page and stuff like that. So you always gotta like be up to date with what's going on with your business through like, that's the power of social media. Just like always be active. And even like we're doing this live right now to educate people about like what are we doing and stuff. And that's the same thing for businesses. I think it's a good idea even for businesses to go live on Instagram and stuff like that. And you're gonna attract like new clients just by scrolling around on Instagram and stuff, and they might just find you just because they're on that social media platform. Like paid ad is amazing, and that's what we do. But like organic traffic it's a real thing too. And just like by you just being active and posting like on your reel or making posts, like just be consistent with your posting. I'll say like at least like 3 times a week you got to be posting something on your social media, or your page is gonna die.
Okay. Yeah. Do you have like the actual number for how much they should post a week? Stories, reels?
I think, like I said, like 3 times a week is the minimum. You know what I mean? Anything less than that is like the algorithm is not going to pick it up. I mean, like we took pages.
Posts, right? You mean like I think on stories we should be doing every day, really.
Yeah, okay. Story every day, like multiple times a day. Like I would say like post 10 times a day on story. Like it's not going to hurt you, but when it comes to like your actual feed, even like with reels, like we took pages from like 20,000 followers to like 220,000 followers within like 2 months. And that's just like organic, consistent posting on reels. Because reels, like, like all what it takes with reels, like you just got to stay consistent, and one reel would blow up and take your whole page to that next level. Like we did that with our page, right? Like we've been posting we started a new page called Known for Sport, and we posted like every single day for like 2 months. And maybe like week 7, we got a reel that got like 2.5 million just organically.
I love that.
And I mean, I think, like I said, I always like to make the chess analogy, right? I feel like marketing at the end of the day, everything is really a chess game, right? You have different pieces that do different things. So a lot of people, I feel like they want to focus only on paid ads or only social media or only on their website, whatever. But like you got to really do all of it at the end of the day. I think they, like I said, they each kind of do different things for your business. Obviously, it's all funnel too, right? Like if you have someone that sees your ad and then they go check your Instagram, but you don't really have anything on your Instagram, no cool content, no recent content, you're most likely going to lose that lead. And vice versa, if you have someone, that it goes on your Instagram and they try to go on your website and your website's not working, well, then it's the same idea. You're probably gonna lose that lead too. So, you definitely want to hit all three aspects of that.
Yeah, I think that's just marketing in general. Like, you can't just do one thing. You want to do the paid ad, you want to do organic, you want to do the content, you want to do like email marketing, you want to do warm, cold outreach. You know what I mean? You got to do it all to like see the results. Like a lot of people, they do like one thing and we're like, okay, marketing is not working out for me because you're not utilizing all the tools. Like there's so many things that you can do out there that would take your brand to the next level. Like, and it's actually like, it's easy, but it's just time consuming. That's like what we're here for.
Right. And then the second part is the actual conversion, because the people call and then once you get to the office, there's a disconnect. So you have to make sure that all the staff is educated, that they know how to speak to the clients, even make them some scripts with different objections. Because again, if you expect the patient to call and just like, hey, yes, I just want to book for everything, usually it doesn't happen. And there's some persuasion that needs to be done. So everybody at the staff should have a certain script, if it's the medical provider, if it's the front desk. And again, prepare for the holidays. They come every year at the same time, but if you plant the seeds and do the education prior to that, social media, emails, phones, in office, it doesn't matter how, the clients closer to the holiday season will come and they just will spend with no discounts.
And you gotta have good closers in the office too, because that's another problem that we face in our industry. Is like that, I don't have a problem bringing you leads, but if you don't know how to close them, that's not on me, right?
Correct.
And a good upsell process too. On top
like
of
every
that,
business should have like really incentive, like training on like closing and sales, because this whole business is all about sales. Like if I bring you the lead, if you don't know how to close them, or the person who picks up the phone, they don't really understand the services or anything, you're gonna
right. It's very true. So it's just a combination.
Diana, I have a question for you. Since you've kind of covered all of these different aspects in your business, where do you feel like the biggest disconnect is for people that already have a marketing strategy that's going? Like where are they losing leads? Where is it not?
Sales. The leads are coming. The leads are great. They all complain, oh, the leads is bad. No, the leads are great. If people click and they call your office, they want to. Their potential. If they don't call, if they don't leave information, I understand that. Most of them, they get the clicks, they get the phone calls, and they complain that the lead is bad. No, your staff is not trained. You don't train your staff. You think if she's a nurse practitioner or an esthetician, she knows how to sell. No, she doesn't. She knows how to perform a treatment, not how to sell. Same thing for front desk. I would say also, a lot of times they expect the front desk to just be salesperson from the beginning, but it's not the case. So it's really about teaching them how to handle objections. That's all it is.
So sales. We're in the business of relationship and sales. It goes back to like
you have no option.
And sales is like just relating and just understanding pain point too. Like when I think of sales, just like I think of you being the doctor and you have a patient and it's coming up to you, you just got to listen to them, ask the right question. Sales is all about asking the right question too. You want to lead that conversation. You want to be able to answer all objections, like you said. But most importantly, you got to understand why they calling you, right? You got to understand the why.
Correct. And this can tie directly into marketing. I know that when I work with clients, something I really like to ask them as I'm building strategy for the month is, what questions are you getting? And I think for medical spa owners, staff, front desk people, like it's something worth noting. What questions are you getting? What are people asking? What are they needing? If you can take those little points and you're getting them all day. I mean, people are sitting in your chair, you're doing a procedure on them and they're like, oh, how does this or how do I heal from this or blah, blah, blah. Like those are little questions that you can integrate directly into your marketing strategy, and it makes it that much more effective because you literally know exactly what your audience is looking for. And then you can even take that further and extrapolate on the questions that they're asking and make assumptions. Oh, well, if they're wanting to know about how it might affect me in this way or how this service might help with this, well, what other problems are they facing that they need to be solved by your business?
100%. So take notes when they call you and you hear all these questions. Take note, because I feel like every business, they're gonna get the same question over and over and again. You know what I mean? So you just gotta get familiar with like your industry and like what question is being asked, and just be ready to answer them.
Right. And also, what I always say, have something that you are specializing in, because yes, there is competition. There's many great med spas around every city today. Take it for any business, it doesn't matter. It can be window cleaning. You need to talk about your uniqueness, your value, what makes you different, what makes you better, without talking badly about the competition. Just again, emphasize what makes you so good. And if it's a phone call, the goal is just bring them to the office. Let them be impressed at the office with their own eyes. You can't show the same thing over the phone and in the office itself. Again, to any business, it doesn't matter if it's a med spa, if it's car wash, it's all pretty much the same. And you have to remember, if a person calls you, they want your business. And if you don't know how to answer, you are going to lose that lead, because nobody calls anywhere if they're not interested, even if it's free. You're going to tell me, hey, roller skating is free. I'll never go there if I'm not interested in roller skating. But if I'm going there, it means I am a potential client. That's just for any business.
Exactly. And that's when it comes to like, having a good offer too, because having a good offer is so important, because like, just like you said, there's a lot of like any business. I started realizing lately too, I don't think any business is saturated, because you can stand out and have a good offer. You know what I mean? Sure. Like there's every industry is saturated at this point. You just got to stand out and how to have a good offer and just attract the client to you than your competitors, and just have a good service.
And I think that goes hand in hand also with networking though too, because if you have a good offer and then you're able to make that relationship and like get that person to like you on a personal level, like they're always going to want to do business. Like most people, of course, there's certain cases where you don't want to, but a lot of times someone's going to want to do business with someone they already know, just from being around or on a personal level, and then they'll feel more comfortable doing that. Of course, sometimes it's not like that, but I definitely think that, especially in this industry, if you're able to have that good offer and then make that relationship and be personal, like of course someone's going to want to come support you over someone that they don't know.
Yes, it's very true. Especially if you have great content and your website is understandable and user friendly, and if you have before and after pictures, because again, especially for this industry, people just want to see how they're going to look like. If you don't have enough before and after pictures, you can keep educating them, but it's just not going to be enough to attract them actually to come in and to trust you, because it is built on trust, value, urgency. You have to have the combination of three of them to actually have a successful closing.
Agreed.
All right.
Diana, I have another question for you. So something I've seen in the medical spa in the industry is people that work at the med spas also having their own personal Instagrams and personal accounts tied in with the main medical spa account. What do you think about that? Do you like that trend? Do you not like it?
I love it. I think every med spa should have it, because people want to know the faces behind the brand. People want to know the faces of the people they are going to see. And the more they see you, the more they trust you, and the more they're going to value what you're going to do for them. So definitely, and unfortunately, I don't see it enough. Not enough places doing it. If it's for they being scared, not sure why, but definitely, I think that's the best way to do.
And I think as a marketer, like just looking at it, that already like positions your brand in a different way. Like it makes you stand out. There is like a unique aspect to it, because maybe that specific person is making a different style of content than the medical spa itself. And then you're like, oh my gosh, like maybe you connect more with that one individual person than the business as a whole. And then that plays into your sales easier. Like it all works so much better, because there's like these different aspects at play, and personality and authenticity all shining through by just tying into your business as a whole.
Right. And I do have a question for you, because what I noticed, it's where their problem, they don't know how to start or where to start. So what would you recommend for a nurse practitioner or an esthetician that wants to start building her own brand also?
Shane, do you want to do this or do you want to?
Yeah, we can both chime in. I think definitely like number one, of course, we keep going back to this stuff being authentic. Like, you know, the brand should represent who you are as a person, you know, and that message you want to portray, you know, whether that's, you know, like whatever it may be, you know, you need to be authentic to who you are, number one. And number two, it needs to be clear and concise, right? You don't want to make it too complicated. You want to have, you know, if you want to make a logo, let's not make it too crazy, you know, and that's the beauty too. You can always rebrand. So people always get caught up on how it should look, what my brand color is going to be, what is this? At the end of the day, that's not the main focus. You just want to make it clear and concise and make the vision and the message clear to your potential clients. And then just start. Like I said, if a year down the line you want to change and rebrand, that's fine. You know, you're most likely not going to lose your clients because you change your logo or change your colors. You know what I mean? People always like overthink that, and I use that as an excuse to never get started. So my main advice, the first off, is just be, you know, keep it simple in the beginning, clear, easy to understand, and authentic, and then just get started.
Just get started.
100%. Just get started.
Obviously, like, of course, this industry specifically in the beauty industry, but it's really any business. People always want to come up with some reason why they can't do it, but it's like you just gotta start. You're always gonna get better at it every day and day. Just by that's practice makes perfect, right? So
it's just like just a learning journey. You know what I mean? You want to start somewhere and you're just gonna evolve, and like just being in, like, starting somewhere, whatever it is you want to start in your life, just like whatever business it is, just start somewhere, and it's just gonna keep getting better, and you're never gonna stop learning. Like, I'm learning every day, like, you know.
Yes, and you can't be afraid to make mistakes. Like, we're all just throwing ourselves out there on social media. Like, yeah, it can be scary. Yeah, you might have to talk on camera, but like, push yourself, because if you want to get clients and you want people to know you, you have to be willing to put yourself out there so people can know you. And if you're an amazing nurse practitioner and maybe you've had word of mouth and it's all worked out for you, well, do you want to scale your business? Like, what are your goals? And that's taking those next steps to like really knowing what your specialty is, what makes you unique, and then telling people about it.
Right?
100%.
I agree. All right, Chloe, you want to go over all of our tips? Because I feel like we gave so many tips right now.
Okay, so main point is, I think, authenticity and messaging early, not doing the flash sales, doing things that are more for the longevity of your brand. So creating memberships, and probably a huge emphasis on sales in all of those processes. So educating your clients on what you have available via email, via social media, via word of mouth, via your staff, making sure your staff knows all of the offerings, how to upsell, how to close clients, knowing all of the services that you're offering, so that if you're getting questions, if you're getting objections, that they can handle them. And then also utilizing social media in every way that you can. So knowing your brand, knowing the trends, knowing what your audience likes, and be willing to put time into your social media and into your marketing strategies so that you can generate leads and answer questions, and just keep your audience informed in a right, timely manner for the holiday season.
I love that.
Love that.
Love that.
Love that.
Great recap. So one other thing I would say too, like for the people that want to get started, just get started.
Yes. Don't wait. Don't wait. Just start.
Don't wait for the new year. We got 2 weeks left of 2024. Let's just get started.
Exactly. And we are going to do our next live webinar in January with some strategies for 2025. So we're going to talk about some strategies for the med spa industry, maybe for some other industries also.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, all the industries.
Perfect. So
yes,
that's going to be the first week of January.
Well, I'm excited. I look seeing you all there again as well, and thanks to everyone for listening.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
Very insightful as always.